What up, party people? Oh, I'm out again. Forgive the helmet head, because I'm out for a spin on one of my classic mopeds. I call them classic. The wife would disagree because they're a little bit rusty. Anyway, I've just finished making my first stitched bridge hammock, following the plans from Hiking Dad / Bic Life or Bics Life. I'll leave a link down below to the first of his tutorial videos on how to make it. Obviously I've not followed it 100%, but I'm pretty happy with the way it's turned out. I've not tried putting any load on it yet, so you will see whether or not my sewing will work, because I have zero experience, or had, on a sewing machine. So fingers crossed I won't end up on my Harris and I'll look like a bit of a leg end. And at the end of this I'll show you my steed for the day, which just does not stop bringing a smile to my face. I love these woods, and breathing heavy apparently. See you in a bit.
Let's go outside, it's so long since we've been deep in the woods with the fat lad. We need to step away from the screens, go pack a bag, whip up some lunch. You need a break from the wife's flatulence. You've been too long inside, you're about to buzz. Just let us out and let us dream and go.
First things first, I need to cut myself a couple of 36-inch spreader bars, which is, again, I measured it today and found out, from the centre of my chest to the tips of my fingers. As you can see here, I've got a fallen pine, which means that those branches should still be green enough so that they won't snap on me, and I'm not cutting down live trees. So I'm going to cut me a couple of spreader bars out of that, go a bit further on and find a place to set up. That has got some beautiful fat wood in it and all, which I might have off the end of the spreader bars when I'm done. Lovely. That one there should have it in and all. Right, so then, I can't see what you can see. In here, I've got a DIY underquilt and my hammock and my tree huggers. So I'm going to whack it up in between those two trees. Hopefully they're far enough apart. Just to see what it looks like. I'll show you around, set you back up and get inner, which could be bad. We'll see.
With extra cream all the way to the top, and you know we won't stop as the penny drop. You gotta step away from the screens. Hammock under the light of the moon, and sometimes you bring Bramblehead. If you're lucky you might get some poontang. It's more likely with Johnny. We've seen the way you look at him and the fear in his eyes as he zips up the tent again. Just let us out and let us dream and go wherever we want with extra cream all the way to the top. And you know we won't stop as the penny drop. You gotta step away from the screens.
So let's have a little look at what you've got. As I said before, I copied the plans from Hiking Dad / Bics Life. I'll put a little picture of it up there. Modified it a little bit to myself. I'm using branches as spreader bars. Haven't worried about Carlos Fandango suspension, just used the same cordage as I always do. as normal, I come down, cut a groove in the spreader bar, and this is where you'll see, let's have a look. When I first started on the machine, in fact that's when I first started on the machine, not exactly brilliant, but I ended up getting pretty good, you know. Not pretty good, enough that I'm not embarrassed to show you. Now, one thing I will say, the machine I used, for 90% of it, was a 20 quid eBay find, one of these Hobbycraft mini machines. Not the mini one, sort of in between the MIDI machine, M-I-D-I. And it done all of the beading. I'll let you know how it goes. How about that? Stop being a muppet. Right. So, as you can imagine, this is shaped, it's 6 inches narrower in the middle than it is at each end. So it's 47 inches across each end, 6 inches off each side in a curve. So what will happen there is, as you can see, it raises up the middle. So when you get in it, that gets pushed down and your legs come up straight, hopefully. Could just go on my bum. I've closed off both ends. One is a bit neater than the other, as you can see. But I'm not worried about neatness. So in here, what you have is, I stitched a bit of this material along the end, rolled it over twice, double stitched it right the way through, cut these tabs, and yeah, stitched loops onto the end of them. So the loops are actually going through the webbing. Really simple. All in all, I would say, even though I had some machine issues, actual working time on it, I probably completed that in 2 hours, having never ever sewed before. If you're interested, I will upload a video of me making another one of these, because I've upgraded to a 20-year-old bigger sewing machine and it's so much easier to use. Things are getting so much neater and everything. Now, what I will say is, the bloke that done it, Hiking Dad stroke Bics Life, he's got a really good video which I've linked down below. Go and have a look at the original. I'm not trying to steal his thunder at all, but I am going to get in her. I need to see if this is going to hold, and I'm not sure if it will, but there's only one way to find out, isn't there? What I may do as well is run a ridge line from one end to other, if that's the right position. We'll go from there. Let's just take one step at a time. I've set it nice and low, so if I do go on my bum, it shouldn't hurt too much. Let's do this. Right, so here goes nothing. First signs are okay for the stitching. It only bleeding works. What I will say is, this is very flat, yes, but I am getting shoulder squeeze. I am quite a broad individual, not massive by any stretch, but I definitely am getting shoulder squeeze. Could I sleep like it? Definitely yes. Let's have a little go. Side sleeping, smashed it out the park. The shoulder squeeze is less the further up I go, but that is a truly flat lay. I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot. Stitches, anything come undone that I can see? What's that there? Nope. And I can't believe I just jumped onto damp ground. First success. So what I'll do now, I'll attach a camera to the end. You can actually have a look along. But also, I've made an underquilt that I want to attach. I've not tried it yet. I think it's going to work. So this is only a lightweight fabric. I have got lighter, which is what I make my other hammocks out of. But you've seen how small this pack's down. That's awesome. It's a bit narrow, but the dimensions that he's given us, you can just up everything. So yeah, just, you could times it by 1.5, 1.2, 1.1 and make everything wider, longer. I wouldn't need it longer, so I'm a bit of a short ass. Now, I've got to stitch pockets in here or here. All the weight is being taken on these side pieces. As you can see, hopefully, they're angled. That shoulder squeeze is definitely there, but it is a properly flat lie. I'm going to have no bother kipping in this. No bother at all. Right, I'm going to go get the underquilt out now. It feels a little bit tippy when you're sitting upright. Don't worry about that, I've not fallen out. Now the underquilt is one of these small travel blankets from Naturehike. So it's not a full length one, so it's going to cover from my shoulders to my ankles. That's not a problem. I'll get a little seat pad under my feet. That's going to stop them getting cold. The main part of my body is going to be warm. I have sewed right the way around it, which I will show you, little tabs, 8 of them, 1 in each corner, 1 halfway between the corners as well. I've only attached the corners for now with bungee at the end, a bit of paracord going to it, backing in on itself to a toggle, so you can adjust the size and the stretch is taken up with the bungee. Why don't I just show you? That might make sense. Hopefully it'll work. Right, so what I've got then in here is, as I say, just a small down throw. You can't see it, but you can see how long that is. It covers from chest down to nearly my feet. So I'll flip my hammock upside down, this being the head end. I have put on here 8 loops stitched in, webbing loops. 1 in the middle. I can cock around with them later to get the finished product. I just want to see if I can get this sitting. Onto the loop, I've got that much paracord, which doubles in from the toggle, so you can make it shorter or longer. And then on the end of it, I've got some bungee material with a little carabiner on the end, which I can hook to the ends and adjust as needed. So I'll look like so. Now on these elastics, what I've done, I've also tied them in the middle so you can have 2 attachment points in the elastic to make them short or tight or whatever you need. Now my head end's going to be up this end, so I need to tighten it to about there, I'd say. Like so. And like so. Right, that don't actually look too far off. Don't want it too tight because I do want it to be able to stretch. Flip that back over. See how she's looking. I'll tell you what. That ain't looking too shabby at the minute. I'll put the camera actually on the deck. I could obviously come up this way and attach that toggle up to the top. At the moment, don't look like I need to. It is my summer underquilt, or will be. So I'm happy with that. I'll get the camera on the deck to see what it looks like when I'm sitting in it. Just going to lay in here for 5 minutes. Maybe not that long, to see if it works. That's covered perfectly. Get in. I hate to say it, but that is a bleeding winner. That genuinely works a treat. That really, really, really is. You know, at worst, I could loosen it a tiny little bit because it's a little bit tight on my butt. But I'm talking a tiny little bit. Yeah, I could do that from here, look. Oh. Oh mate, that's a winner. The good thing is as well, is that these were meant to have bungees so I could attach them to the sides. Really don't need to. For a summer setup, I am unbelievably happy with how this turned out. I mean, the stitching looks absolutely god awful, but what would you expect? Happy bleeding days. And for the people that went on my poll and thought I was going to end up on my arse, now the question is, do I add a ridgeline at about this, maybe a little bit tighter, because I have sunk a little. See if that's any better. Yep, that's definitely better. I think I'll add a ridgeline at that and maybe a ridgeline organiser. I'll have a quick look. Proper happy with that. Unbelievably so. What I am going to do is I'm going to need to make one at least 5 inches wider because of my pie supplied girth. Let's put it that way. But the flat lie, awesome. I don't know, I'm going to have to see if I can figure it out in my head to keep it the same length, just wider. Yeah, I don't know what the maths would do for the dip if the length is the same, because obviously if I just made it wider and made that dip deeper and kept the length the same, it might have odd. I'll have a look. I'll try and figure it out in my pea-brained little head. But again, rundown of costs. My under blanket cost 20 quid. I think I paid for 10 metres of that stuff is either £5 or £10. 10 metres of that fabric, which I believe is a 2-ounce fabric, might be 1.9, whatever it is. That was £9.99. Already had the string, already had the luggage straps, already had the bungees, already had the toggles. So that, oh, and 20 quid for the sewing machine. That now owes me, what did I say, 20 quid? 40 quid with the underquilt, which I can use on anything, so I'm not too bothered by that. And I've got enough material to make another hammock. I do need more webbing. So for 50 nicker, I would have 2 bridge hammocks. I've also got a lot of much lighter weight material, which I think I'd use, making it pack down even smaller. But you all see the size of the pack. That's what I was going to do. Ridgeline. Stop your jibber jabber. So I've just got a bit of really fine Amstel braid, whatever you want to call it, running through. Organiser on there because you need it. Might stitch some pockets onto the side and onto the ends. Now I'm thinking that my separate, what's it called, cheap and nasty bug net may well reach and cover all of that, which would be a bonus. I could even have the ridgeline on the inside if I needed, still giving me access to the ridgeline organiser. These may damage the bug net, they're only a tenner a time, and if need be I can stick a pair of pants or something on there. Don't know why pants come to my head. If you are American and watching, pants are undercrackers over here, not trousers. Proper happy. Proper happy. To get it right, it's going to take a little bit of fudging, but I can see me knocking loads and loads and loads of these up. If you are interested in watching me do it, let me know below. As I say, hiking dad stroke big life, done a brilliant how-to, so you're probably better off watching him rather than a sweary fat bloke. But I'm going to pack up and go home, or I might actually just laze around for half hour or so in my new hammock, which I'm loving. I will, but you don't need to see it. But what I will do when I do leave is show you the steed I rode it on, because that is awesome. If you need a bridge hammock, you've seen my DIY one there, basher or whatever. This is a proper DIY. This is a proper DIY stitching one. I done it. If I can do it, seriously anyone can do it, because I am a ham-fisted spadoofer. And look at the elegance of that bed, which I'm getting back in right now. See you on the walkout. And for those of you wondering, can you stomach sleeping up? Yes you can. Forgive the camera, but I left my GoPros over there and I've been dozing. So today's ride, a 1978 Pooch Maxi. Changed the oil, done the brakes. No keys in this one. You simply turn the petrol on, put the choke on, and give her a couple of cranks. Next one's got up. You've got to give her a chance. She's 1 year younger than me. Ha 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 ha!